Okay, today I'm going to show you how to create just a simple nameplate for vinyl cutting. So let's get started. I have Illustrator open. Let's start a new document. We'll call it vinyl nameplate. And we can just operate in the basic RGB colors for now. It doesn't really matter if you do this or print. It doesn't really matter. We'll create a letter size document. Make sure you change this to inches. So we're in inches. Um, and we want the parameters are supposed to be 12 inches long by 3 inches tall. And we'll go ahead. So here's our nameplate. And I'll close the layers. Here's our nameplate that we're going to be working with. And now we just need some letters on there as well. So click the letter tool and just click, and we'll just make one. I'll use all capital letters. Just make one for Huskies. Oh, one thing I did forget to show you before I get going too far. The letters will show up. Uh, well, I'll show you that in a little bit. The stroke size is not coming up because I don't have a stroke on these right now. But let's go ahead and enlarge this over the whole. I'm going to use Shift, and you can control the size of these letters here, the height of the letters. I can make them a 0.2 or I can make them 1 inch tall. So you have control to get this font size in inches. If you go under Edit, Preferences, and click Units. For this exercise, I would make all the general stroke and type in inches. Right now, by default, I believe stroke and type will be in points, but let's just go ahead and make it all to inches so we can see how many inches our letters are. And if you want a 2.5 inch letter, you can control that and make it exactly 2.5 inches. You are welcome to use whichever font you would like on this. However, I would stay away. Remember, you're cutting vinyl here. So if you have a um, real thin line vinyl letter, you will find that when you go to weed that out, because it does cut it, you'll have a hard time. It'll make your job more difficult than if you pick just a simple letter with nice and thick. If you use one like this, remember it's cutting around the outside edge of these letters. And when you go to weed that and separate the vinyl, it can be quite a challenge. So, and of course, you wouldn't want to do anything like this. Probably that's going to be awfully difficult. Just I would pick a pretty simple font. That one looks nice. That one's not going to quite fit within our boundaries here, so let's just resize that. And again, if you hold Shift down while you resize and get that on just fine. To align this to the artboard, if you click on Align and Align To and select Artboard here, you can align it vertically and horizontally, or horizontally and vertically. So now that should be aligned pretty well on our in the center of our artboard. Now let's go ahead and select a color, and the colors won't exactly match, but you can go up and take a look at the color of vinyl that we have, and let's say that we want to cut this one out of yellow. You can go ahead and select yellow. Now yellow on white doesn't show up real well. You might want to do a green. You're going to take this and transfer it on whatever you would like, so really the color of vinyl isn't really that important. It depends on what you're transferring it to. Just go up and take a look at the different colors that Mr. Nee has under the vinyl cutter, and select a color that is close to the color that you have selected. Now, what we have to do on here now is to be able to put cut lines on. Right now it won't cut these layers because they just have a fill. We don't want to use stroke this time. We are going to right click on the letters and we're going to create outline. When we create the outline, you will zoom in here and it will create outlines that are real nice and small. And that outline should be, let's go ahead and assign it a black. And let's go ahead and put it, the outline, let's go ahead and put it at 0.001 inches. And right now, if I zoom in on that, you'll be able to see that's where it's going to cut, that cut line right there. Now, a little trick that you can do at this point is if you do Control Y, it should just show the outlines there, and that's what it's actually going to cut when it sends to the printer. And so I'm going to do a Control Y to bring my fill back, and that's really all it's going to take. Now, you're going to save this up to that shared. Save this in your folder as Vinyl Sign, and then you'll need to share it in a group folder under the graphics group. So then you can move over to the computer connected to the vinyl sign cutter and cut it out. And you'll learn how to run the machine from there. Good luck.